Started as a whisper, message from a new world I'd never known. Something about it felt like it'd been waiting my whole life. Is this home? I can hear each sound calling my name, and I feel angels around when I start to sing. And suddenly it feels like heaven's not so far away. Tell me, can you hear the symphony? Panic, panic,
Hi, I'm Pete. Today we're at a place called Scammondon. Behind me over that brow is a huge reservoir along the side of the M62, but we're not here to see that today. If you look, you might be able to see some traffic going over there. That is the M62. Over there, distance behind me, there, Scammondon Bridge. That was the world's largest single span bridge at one time when it was built, and the dam is the only dam in the UK that's up against a motorway, which was only built because of the motorway. But it's not that what we're interested in today. We're here to learn about somebody who did something for this area, Huddersfield area, and what we're interested in is in these woods down here. So I've got to figure out a way to get down there, and then I've got to find what it is, and stay tuned. Where we're going today is next to the M62. That there is the embankment for the M62. So the cars are going across the top there. On the other side of that is Scammondon Dam. When this was built and opened in '71, and it still remains today, it's the only motorway dam in the UK. Massive feat of engineering. I don't know what all these are, but they've all got doorways in them, so you can go inside. I wonder if there's something at the other side. But anyway, we'll maybe cover that another day as Queenie opened that. Aside from having hopefully a train built to the mill, the only access road was this. This is it. Up there. Like that. Blocked now because of M62. But that was it, that was your access road. And that way, where we're going, is supposed to be mainly marshland. So there's lots of reasons why this mill failed.
left a star glowing in your eyes when I'm not aware. You left a scar. I fall into your lies all again.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
for today is kind of out somewhere. I know I'm going the right direction because I found the water. This would have been key and vital to survival of where we're about to go. Alright, wish me luck because I don't know where it is. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so after trekking through the woods for about half an hour or so, I started finding clues as to where we were going. The beck, which would have been vital for the survival of this place. Masonry, you see that? Masonry everywhere. Although that one's been made into a pedestrian stye type crossing, they would have never carted those up here just for that. I look everywhere else, there's rubble lying around. That giant plinth there might have been a doorway or a lintel or something like that. Certainly want an average brick. All this masonry up here. All that stonework in there behind me. Here. All up there. Would have been all part of this big building. We'll continue looking. When I come across it, we'll film it. Alright, so I found it. And the stonework is pretty impressive. The quality of it. Look at the corners when I get to film that for you. Giant piece of masonry what I'm stood on. Look at this. Huge. But I found the building we're looking for. We'll have a look around some of it and I'll tell you what it was, what happened to it.
Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Yeah. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through colored glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shade my smile.
So behind me, what we're looking at is an old cotton mill. It was instigated to be built by Dr. John Kenworthy. He was born in 1786 and died in 1873. Now, he studied at Cambridge. He was assigned to come up to Yorkshire and he practiced nearby to Huddersfield. The region was really quite poor. The land around here is marshy, so the farmers weren't getting much income. Generally, the whole area was quite poor with not much income. Cotton in Lancashire, spreading over into Yorkshire and Bradford, was becoming the industry, making people very wealthy. You only need to look at the architecture around the town buildings in those places to see how successful cotton was. So the plan was, I think it was in around 1850, to build a cotton mill. Well, that took off and they started it, and I think it was completed. The foundation stone, was laid in 1861, and that was by Dr. John Kenworthy. I think 3 or 4 years later it was completed. It was a 6-storey building, absolutely massive. I can only find one drawing of it, so I will put that up so you can have a look at that. And this is what remains today. Now, it was 6 stories, got to the point with a roof on it, but it never got any machines inside. The main reason being is because of where they built it. At the time there was nothing round here. The access road was barely even a road. The plan was to build a train line to it, but that never took off, so therefore they couldn't get anything to or from the mill, and it just got left. Then eventually it was sold one time, and then sold to another time in 1897 to a builder from Bradford who bought the building. I think at the time it cost something like £14,000 to build. The next owner that purchased it bought it for £4,000, and then the Bradford builder bought it, the whole building, for 250 quid. At that time it was intact and it was a building, and basically what he did was he took it apart. It was cheaper to reuse this stone than to quarry new stone, and that's what happened to this mill. Ever since then it's been pretty much left to fall into rack and ruin, whatever was left of it, which isn't a great deal. I've looked around the whole area and I've shown you pictures of what exists today. Now, this Dr. John Kenworthy Walker was very much a kind of an altruistic type man. Yes, he was a doctor. Yes, he studied at Cambridge. Yes, he probably was a little bit privileged. He had a relative that was a sir. But that didn't stop him. He wanted this because the idea of this mill was to be owned by local people, not industry. So therefore shares were sold in this mill. £5 a share, you could have 100 shares maximum, and you could buy a share as little as £1 deposit, which in the 1860s was a lot of money, but people could do it. There was one fella, he invested £150 into this, his whole life savings, and when it collapsed he climbed to the top of this, the 6th floor, and jumped and died. And it's alleged that he still haunts this place today. So maybe if you wanted to come out one night and do a little bit of ghost hunting, drop a link, I'll watch it. I might even come with you if you want. So as time passed, John continued to fight for the general public, and thanks to him, along with some of his colleagues, you got the Hull Royal Infirmary. He also rallied for restoration of the church that's local to here. We'll go there shortly because that's where he is buried, and we'll go pay our respects to him. Yeah, the sad thing is this mill was virtually completed and it never got used. So let's go over and have a look at where John's buried today. I've arrived here at St Bartholomew's Church in what's left of the village of Deanhead, I think it was called. That behind me up there, this building here, that's the old schoolhouse. Most of the village was demolished and flooded for the reservoir, but the church is still here. Still operates by the looks of it. It's in really good condition, and this is probably one of the nicest cemeteries I've ever been in. The grass is just kept perfect, headstones cleaned. Yeah, there's a few laid down and a few cockled over, but when we look at some of the dates on these, 1817, so we're here now looking for our doctor. It is quite a big one, I believe. I have seen a picture of it, so I have an idea what I'm looking for. It's a cross on a plinth, and I can see one up there. So I'm wondering if that's it. It's quite creepy here actually, even during the daytime. I can hear things popping and cracking everywhere. Look at this one here. Look at that. Fenced inside there. That must be somebody. Well, obviously. But I wonder who they were. Memory of. Can't really read it from here. It is broken, but I'm not gonna go inside it. 1988 grave there. Some of these headstones are just so beautiful. 1838, age 32. So we'll head over to these. There are some crosses here on the hill. We'll have a look at those. Hopefully that's what we're looking for. And once I've found it, I'll catch up with you there. Oh, and if you ever wondered if these coffin type ones, if they had the bodies in, there you go. Alright, I'll catch you at the grave. Right, okay, this is the final resting place of John. Quite a nice headstone. We'll go through that, we'll have a look at it. A man who did a lot for the poor during his time. Quite a nice headstone in a beautiful cemetery. Let's pay our respects. And remember, if you like the video, please hit like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.